Would you like to know why it's taken so long to do the bloody car? You tell with this, that's all that's happened for the whole of well, ever since I started doing the work on the car, which is handy. I'd have been better off building an arc. So, welcome again to another video. Hope you are all keeping positive and testing negative, or keeping as positive as I am when you're given such a vehicle that just wants to die. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stop myself here. There are 5 months worth of video ahead and there's no time to be waffling on. So let's start with the removal of the rear differential, shall we? It's funny, the last time I did the diff, it also rained. Right, so, sorry, that thing there, that's the fuel tank. Just there by where the pointy end of my long stick is a bit of welding. It's welding along there as well. It needs to be done well along that sill as well. So that means that thing has to come out. But before that can come out, the prop shaft needs to come out, because I'm blessed with a 4x4, and that also needs to come out as well. Sorry, the exhaust. Plans though, so when it was up on the ramp, all of this was wet. Subsequently, I've noticed that it's wet here as well, so you can see all the drive shaft there. That's the seal I did before. That's fine, obviously. The other side that I didn't do is the side to leak as well. But the input, the pinion, sorry, means that this whole thing needs to come out anyway. So that shouldn't be too difficult. To make life easy, he says, I'm just going to undo the drive shafts here. So unbolt them here and on both sides, so these are still part of the actual diff when it gets dropped. I should also mention here that the differential mounts, both the rear one you see here and the two ahead of the differential, will also be changed. As well as those, the fuel tank strap looks a bit ropey, so that will need replacing too. So this is all the stuff I know about so far. This has already been done, but I don't think the paint's very good, so I want to bring that back. But yeah, you can see here it's quite bad. Yeah, there's bits here that I don't know, because really the only saw that bit, saw the one section. I think this might be a little. See along here as well, and you see how close the fuel tank is to where I'm meant to be welding. That's why it needs to come out. But yeah, even underneath here, where are you? All that needs doing. That's just one side as well. So I'll show you the other side. As they say, the devil makes work for idle hands and idle screwdrivers. There's this torch. So there was no holes here, and you can see all of that that arch. It's not so bad there, but here it's fucking so. Bollocks. Do you know what? That bloody ladder, with it being near what, 45 years old or whatever, is in better nick than this thing. Oh, this is ridiculous. And that isn't even all of it. This is something that I was just checking on the off chance, but you see what happens is just like this bloody fucking guards, and I bet if we look here, it's the same because it's all just it's all just in there. So I'll show you the bit that actually needs doing. Again, another repair that needs resolving. But just underneath. Where is it? There it is. So yeah. Freak. Seals aren't too far behind, but that rear arch is. That rear arch is completely shagged. I mean, to be fair, I've done the same thing on the ladder, haven't I? And it's taken how long? Yeah, it wasn't too bad. A lot of welding on this. So I'm back on the passenger side, and knowing what we know now, shall we have a look? Sorry. Yep. That's just as bad. I need a pint. Half the problem is that this one in particular has this trim, and as you can see previously, the whole thing just full of mud, so it just sits there and rots. And I also forgot there's a corner. Hold on. See, so is it that? Oh no, it's here. See all of this. Don't start these things with a plan. It's just as well. That's what should be there, which is now here. Oh, I'll put a photo in of what was there, but as you can see, all the muck was there, held on. Because I thought I might as well take the plastic trim off just to see what it's like. And you can see what it's like. So all of this was hidden, and let's try and get in. I don't know where my tripod is today, but again, it's just like loads of shit. I don't think there's much of this car left. You know, some rubber stuff here, whatever it is. It feels like. What is that? Should have really worn my gloves, but yeah. So this is the first bit of the actual outer shell of the car that's suffering any sort of damage. But you know, as you saw with that, all that does is collect muck and dirt and wet dirt at that. So it just sits here eating away at everything, including my motivation, my wallet. I'll be honest, at this point I was just smacking the car with the screwdriver out of frustration. I didn't expect there to be a big welding job on this car, but don't worry though, it gets worse. All of this seems to be alright until we get to the big hole. As you can see, looks like something out of Chernobyl. Yeah, and as I said at the start of the video, I was meant to be dropping the diff out, not trying to work out whether the car's actually worth saving. I don't know. So in some respects, that's not too bad. And you can only say that when you see this. Look at that. Oh, sorry. Isn't that lovely? Nice. This put it in too bad actually. I mean, still rotten, but this side isn't as bad as that side, but then that side isn't as bad as that. I took a week out from working on this, can't remember why, but decided to make a start fixing this RAV4 the day after St. Patrick's Day. So here I am, talking shite about what's what and where I'm meant to start. There is only one place to start though, and that's with the removal of the exhaust. But most importantly, we have to disconnect the oxygen sensor from the exhaust first, before we do anything like that. On the driver's side, there's that thing goes there, so we take that out. There's a Phillips screwdriver here, screw, take that out, and then pull this back a little bit, and there is no soundproofing. Oh well. That's the cable there. Take it out of that, and then I can just pull it from on the side. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this rubber bung, if we follow it, goes in that fairly rusty hole. But where's there we are. Yep. Whoopsie daisy. Great camera work, isn't it? There we go. I had to take it out in one lump. The back box came out easy enough because it's already been taken out once. So now, pardon the shaky hands, it's just that thing, but I'm going to leave that till the weekend because I'm knackered. Another week had passed and the prop shaft is still on the car. No matter, I've the expert literature of the John Haynes Book of Lies to guide me. There's nothing much to this really. You just need to make sure that where the prop shaft joins the rear differential, you mark its position with some Tipp-Ex. Otherwise, your prop shaft will be all out of balance and the space-time continuum opens up and swallows your whole, apparently. Okay. So, this is the situation. That's the prop shaft. And these are two axle stands which will catch it when I've undone the centre bearing and the rear. Yeah. As you see, made my mark. Sometimes I wish you could just speed up real life. I'd have had all this work done in a weekend if that was the case. Oh, right. So, use this thing. As you saw, I've undone the nuts there. They're 14mm either side. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Locked down in it. Yeah, so I've left two in. I only wanted to leave one in, but I couldn't get the other one out. Because obviously, when we get to this fun thing, we don't want that falling down and the whole thing going to cock uncontrolled. These are also 14mm. There's a heat shield on this side, and when I was on that side of the car, I thought I needed to take it off. I don't. There's a gap. Just the other side, bit of an extension bar on the rattle gun, and it comes off. So I've got that one left to do. Once that comes off, this thing will drop, but I've got my my axle stands, or prop shaft catchers, shall we call them. Yeah, and then I'll go back down there, take the two off, the whole thing will drop down, and then I need to carefully, on my back somehow, without hurting myself or damaging anything, pull the thing out from the gearbox and hope that my new subframe isn't coated in the world's worst smelling liquid. But we carry on. If you've come to know anything, you've come to know that I'm a bit forgetful with filming stuff, and I had you in this position for this and I missed it. Well, sorry, you missed it. I was here. I didn't miss it, but I forgot to press record. But as you can see, that's off now. So we're going down that way again to do something to, what, just what I said earlier in it. Well, look at that. One prop shaft out, followed by the all the gearbox oil coming out. Annoying. I don't think I've got enough room to get underneath the front as well to just open the inlet. Well, I say the inlet, you know, where you put the oil in, just to balance it out a little bit. What I'm trying to say is that really I should have opened the filler nut of the gearbox before I removed the prop shaft, just in case I'm unable to loosen it when I come to refill it later. Right, so that's from the other day. I'm not drinking today. That's the next job. 4 spanners out of 5. And I've been reading this, you know, I've done that. Well, no, actually, I'll come back to that bit. I've done that. This bit, tank is full or nearly full. Siphon the fuel and all that. Now, that thing, the fuel gauge reckons I have half a tank. And I'm the kind of, you know, the glass is always half full. So I'm wondering whether the bloke writing this was also the same, and he would consider half a tank as nearly full. I don't know yet. Done that. I've done that. That bit's fun. I haven't done that yet. Or that. So from what I can gather, apparently there's just 4 bolts. If you can see here in this black and white photo, it's 2 straps either side, and they go there and there. Obviously on that one, mine are a bit more rusty and cruddy, but I have spent a fair bit of time now looking at this, reading this, going on to that. One issue that I do have is, where did I see it? Is it the next page? Yeah. Lower the tank enough to disconnect the electrical connector from. Yeah, right. So, consider that I'm on gravel. Considering I've had feckle good luck with this, and considering the tank is half full apparently and full of petrol, which doesn't mind going up in flames. The whole waiting for the tank to be on the floor or halfway down balancing, and then for me to fuck about with an electrical connector can get in the bin. So yeah, so basically most of these things, like that for example, that's essentially what I have to take off. You can do through the car, as in inside the car. So for I think about the 1500th time, I've got to take the rear seats out and then unplug whatever electrical stuff is going into the car on the inside, because then it would just be a case of trying to turn the page. Yeah, means that I could ignore that because I've already done it. Should be fitting is the reverser removal. It's helpful. And this is all that's going into it. But given what we know about this car, is that the less I can take off means the more that I don't break or find out that are broken. So it's basically all I need to take off is there's a clamp there, which will be a fun thing to take off, obviously. Those daft clips, I don't know what the name of them are, but I hate them. Oh, here they are. Yeah, so basically this is all that needs to come off. Jubilee clip there, which isn't too bad, it might break off, hopefully. Yeah, still those sorts of clips, which are freaking horrible. Also, all of these hidden in here, behind that, because for a while, when I was reading this, yeah, so see locations of the fuel vapor and return lines. Be sure to remove the inner wheel arch liners to access the fuel tank compartment. I was like, arch liners? I don't have them. And I was stood here thinking, I was like, well, maybe I do. Maybe it did have. Then I remembered, no, they don't, because, well, I don't think so. I mean, so this is on the front, you only have that. And on the back here, I doubt there was any in there, because I can't see anywhere to connect them, really. But, you know, I've been known to be wrong. Which leads me on to the next thing, is that fuel tanks. I mean, you've a warning here, you've a warning here, you've a warning here. There's more warning than there are instructions. This is a fairly dangerous thing to do. Yeah, I mean, this is how I'm doing it, so don't take this as how you do it. Take this as one way of doing it. If you blow yourself up, that's not my fault. I never told you to do it. Yeah, exercise great care and safety. Yeah, might be YOLO, but there's no limit on how much YOLOing you can do. Just don't kill yourself, and don't blame me if you do, because I'll probably be dead doing it anyway. So let me introduce you to this. This is what is called the wheel arch liner. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that the Haynes manual also talks about wheel arch liners. There are none on the RAV4. What it means in the manual is this plastic cover that covers the fuel filler neck. In the Haynes manual, it's held on by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10mm bolts, and it goes in like that. Yeah. And here are the bolts. Oh, sorry, here are the bolts. There's 1, there's 2, and then, as with everything on this Toyota, there's 3 broke, and those 3 broke here, and where's my finger? Up there, anyway. The one that went here and the one that was hiding here with all the muck come out fine, which is a good thing. Now, it's at this point where things start to get a bit worrisome. So I said before, whenever I filled this car to the brim, and given that we've had lockdown and everything, it's only happened twice. Both times I've been at the back of the car afterwards. There was a strong smell of petrol. So I was thinking, you know, it could be there. I mean, it could be also that it still could be the fuel vapor pipe. You know, it could also be this, and these are known. These are a known thing apparently on RAV4s to corrode. So earlier, before when I was, you know, feck's sake, when I put, you know, I was putting holes in it, I thought it should be alright, you know, because that was alright. And afterwards I was thinking, well, you know, how can something that's plastic or whatever that material is, rubber, rot? I didn't know until today. It goes onto this, so there's a bad patch here. So yeah, I mean, my plan was, although to be quite honest, plans have gone out the window somewhat with this, was that if this needed replacing, I would replace this over getting a fuel pump on the engine when I do the timing belt. It's a non-interference engine on this, so really I could get away with not doing the belt, but I might as well do the belt. I think a water pump is about 60 quid, and this was about 80 quid for a new one. So the plan, after I get the fuel tank out, which I've still got to do this yet, plan should be to maybe take this off, sand back, or just put a hole in it. So that's another 80 quid. The weight saving continues. So here is the things that I'm on about. So we got, I think, because obviously the tank's sort of split in half, because down this side, or say this side, in the middle, you've got the exhaust and you've got the prop shaft. So it's like there is a proper word for it, but I can't remember what it is. And this is what the Haynes manual was saying to do when you drop the tank. I'm not going to do that, and take these things off and then unplug them from this side. I'm going to jump in here. Essentially, there is not a lot to the fuel tank removal of the Toyota RAV4. You just need to be ultra careful given the flammable nature of petrol. One thing to note though, the Haynes Book of Lies hints that you should start disconnecting the fuel pump wiring while you drop the tank out. Don't do that. It's so much easier to disconnect them first and then drop the tank. So yeah, I'm not even going to bother touching those because they are fairly crusty. Just have to be very, very careful in regards to how we take it out. I don't think I've got half a tank. I'm fairly sure I haven't got half a tank, but I'll only find out now when I drop it. Pardon me. I just thought I'd show you something, because obviously already suspected the fuel filler to need replacing. Quick look on eBay, because thankfully Toyota is closed on a Saturday as I film this. These are a unit, so it comes as the neck, the little fixie thing there, but also the Vapor, what comes back with the Vapor. obviously both of these go in the tank there, and it's obviously easier to just undo it here, which I have done eventually. Yeah, so I've done that. So this was the next bit. Couldn't really work out how it was held together. So if you can see here, let me just, this bit where my socket is on, it's a Jubilee clip, and there's a flexible holes there. This side is the vapor thing for the fuel vapor. If I just wiggle this now, I don't think you can see it, but it's basically the oh, how do I get a good shot? Oh, that might be alright. That's the return of the vapor. That's the metal part, which should be part of that. So just as well, we need to get another one of them. And as you join me for the fuel tank dropping Olympics, join me as I wonder. Oh well, there we go. Now you can see what I've actually done. So with the jack on that, we have the fuel tank on the bit of block of pine that I had. Perfect fit actually, it's as if it was meant for it. I've removed the front two bolts that hold the fronts of the strap off, the front of the strap up. Just have, where is it? That's the strap. It's in there, that right there, on the same side. All but, well, the front two are 12mm, apart from my one up here. It looks like a different bolt, but it is what it is. So I'm just gonna do these now, and then we next thing you'll see is either an obituary or a fuel tank on the floor. Slight hold up. I can't get that off that, which is sort of meaning I just need to wait for the plus cast to do its job, and then that'll come off hopefully. If not, the way I am at the moment, I'm just going to cut the bloody thing off, to be honest. Well, that didn't go to plan. I mean, it's out. Several things went wrong. That line, fuel line, was still attached here, held on by cable tie. A fair bit of cable tie madness going on here. This pipe, this is the one I screwed up on. That's the one that I thought I had undone when I was here, but in fact I was doing this. So yeah, that's where that thing goes. At some point it had a family, and as you can see, I've got perfectly good rubber neck. I'm not proud of that, but it is what it is. that is it's probably, all of this is shagged, I think. So we'll need a new line and some new rubbers. It's quite heavy as well, so I must have had half a tank. Can't for the life of me work out how to get it out though. I've put, where is it? Yeah, I've used that. Just all it's doing is dragging air. So yeah, I mean, I'd say it's the hard bit done, but that really does need to be empty when I go and put it back on. And if you can see here, I had to use two trolley jacks, which is was made a bit more difficult when I can't find the arm for the red one. Although saying that, the black one did alright, but you had to keep swapping. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do something with that fuel tank. Because I'm sort of running out of room at the moment. Can't put it in there. Probably have to put it in the car. What I could really do with emptying the petrol from it somehow. I'll do that, but I think that's all I'm going to do for today. And then no, I'm going to inspect. No, I'm not. That is actually all I'm going to do today, and you'll see why in the next bit. So today's another day. Whoop. And it's also the day I start to start to cut old steel off this car. And as you can see here, this is the diff, the rear diff. I didn't film it because it's near enough the same as how I did it when I changed the oil seal here. What was I going to say? Yeah, so it's basically, there's two screws here you saw before. I've got a new bracket for this mount, as you can see. It's shagged really, because when I was pulling away, I think I mentioned in the first video, when you would pull away, you'd hear an almighty from the, that big bang from the car, which is the diff. Obviously the power's going through the diff, it wants to move, and this was letting it, along with this bracket or mount, which two screws here go on here, so that's how it holds. And as you can see, I've seen better days obviously, but would you believe it, this side is better than that. So as I was taking that bolt off on this side, it didn't seem to want to move anymore, like it was just spinning. Then I went around the front and I realised it just that's just completely gone. It's 25 years old, it's to be expected. So yeah, I've already bought the mount for this. Nah, I sort of did get replacement ones for this, but I got replacement bushes. So once the differential was removed, I could inspect parts of the car I had no real access to before. These parts of the chassis were hidden by the differential, and I managed to put a hole in part of it, so this meant I had to cut a section out and weld a new piece in. There was more steel here before when you last saw it. Managed to just get to where the diff bolts on. Brought it as far back as here, but I reckon that I may end up welding over that hole, so I'll just introduce a new one there. It's not too bad. Angle's a bit weird, but I didn't cut down as much on this side than I did on this side. Just like the join between that back section and the here was quite bad. So now I am going to take a wire wheel to it. Am I? Yeah. Just going back around the outside, inside. Inside here. I'm going to clean this up. Same with in there as well, best I can. Put some rust converter on it. Get that sorted out. Then spray the inside with a well-through primer. At which point I'll be able to start making a template for it. So as you can see, at first ignore that bit because I had a bit of the rust converter left and I thought I'd just dab it on there. Inside's all primed now, you can tell, looks better. Just in the middle of a CAD template. That's ready to go now actually. As you can see, the line is where, so this is going to be overlapping, so it's a butt weld, except for here and there, where it'd just be seam. Mostly because right here is where you know why. I keep forgetting that I've mentioned this before, but yeah, so just to avoid that, fouling that, so next thing to do is to transfer that to steel and then offer it up, and then once I'm happy enough with it, I can then prep this area for welding and prep the new bit. And there's the finished repair panel. Spent a while putting holes in it, so spot weld or pull weld, I think, them all around here, and then weld it on the edges as well. Seam weld along there, managed to save that. Same there as well. Gaps aren't too bad, much better than what I usually manage to create. So yeah, got to clean it up. Well, take it off. I've got to clean up all of this stuff now along here, and weld through primer. Same with this. It's like a Meccano set, really, isn't it? And then leave it to go off, and then have at it with the welder. Another lovely day. It's been a few days since I did anything here. Off, can't, yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's been a few days. I'll show you what's occurred. I realised I didn't actually record much of it. Yeah, so I didn't record much of it, but it is quite ugly. But it's also probably 90% better than most MOT repairs. So it's not too bad. I can just feel the comment section blowing up over the welding here. I have a bad habit where I add too much weld to what I'm welding, so I'm just adding weld onto weld. You'll see though through the course of the video that I managed to kick the habit more often than not. The next part I started on were the corner parts of this chassis, as you can see here. The only thing complicated about this is having to weld upside down, which I've learned to hate. Again, using CAD, I translated the template to 1mm sheet steel and started to form the repair panel using my bench vise and a hammer. I can tell you now, hammering the shite out of steel like this does wonders for any pent up anger or depression you have. It's better than any medication you can be prescribed, I can tell you that. Balance is knackered on this again, but there's the panel. Not the best of welding, but it's difficult to weld upside down. Well, me being upside down, obviously. The next point now is this inner arch area. I need to, I need to clean up all of this, see how far back, how much of this I can actually save and weld to. So I'll be doing that now. Managed to sort of work out how much of this could be saved. It's not too bad. It's just on the cusp of that. That's fine. Not really bothered about that. That'll just wipe. Sorry, don't know if you can see that. Moment. No, it's gone too much. Yeah, so all that will be white brushed off. Then in the meantime, he says, really is quite bright. So that's the panel that I put in. All of this isn't too bad up until it gets to this point, and then it's all the way up. I've only got as far as the arch there. But if I take it in further to see, so this is the side where the fuel filler cap is. So there's the hole, there's the rust, so it's right in here. I don't really want to start cutting out this really just to access it, but I think I might have to. I'll make it difficult for myself first and see how much can be saved here. I reckon all of this is knackered, and I reckon if further up we go in here, it'll be just as knackered, but not as knackered as all this stuff, I mean. Yeah, it's just coming off my hand. So yeah, and that's just what's in front of me because my head's in the wheel well. Would you like to see what I'm battling? Oh. So, let me try and get the exposure down. So yeah, that's where the fuel filler pipe goes. All around the arch. Same way on this side. Plan now is just to cut this section because this is all, well, you can see here, it's rotten. Just gonna make it easier for me to you know, just to get in there and treat the metal properly. So yeah, I didn't want to do that, but I had to, unfortunately. I think I might need to take more off along here, but I want to avoid that if I can, or at least make it part of another patch at least. So yeah. Monday today. That all looks the same as it did. It's around here that actually you can't see because of the sun. One sec. Yeah, see that it gets a bit fruity. As you can see, a bit more of the sill has been taken away. Because, I'm sorry. So that's, which way was it? Well, I just ruined the surprise. That way? No, there we go, it's that way. And basically, this is someone's repaired this already. And they cut that, but instead of, you can't really see, can you? As you can see, not how I've been doing it. They're just welded on top of it. And even the repair panel started to rot through. There you go. So you can see in there, this part is completely rotted through, so I'll cut that and treat that as best I can. That's already been cut off, or at least been pulled off. I need to. This part is particularly awkward. Get in and show you. So not only am I jacking it up here, but that I'll have nothing to weld on this side because it'll go right to where that's attached to the car. It's not too bad, really. I mean, it's a bit thin there. But yeah, not at all ideal. Where are we? So I need to cut a little bit of that off. Make a panel. I think that might be the first panel, but obviously this part here, it's sort of right away there as well. So the whole point, actually. 1 second. Sorry. Yes, I might need to cut more of this sill out to then cut a bit into that and weld it in, and then do the same for along here. But obviously whoever's here before me, I think, could cut this out anyway. So I'm not even sure if, sorry. someone was already here and cut this out before me, so I'm not even sure if it's actually needed. I'm going to find that out now before I go any further, because this might actually be enough for me to scrap it. So it's Tuesday today, and it's been a proper odd day in terms of weather. It's been dark and then it's been snowing, and yeah, I've just decided to get my head down and do it. I think, at least in the last clip, since the last clip, I've cut more of the sill off. So, you know, that used to be there, because I spoke to someone. And they reckoned, you know, this is probably the jacking point, so that's a bit of reinforcement. So it's better to at least add something onto this. So I've got the plate. Pardon the wind. It's also been very windy. I don't know what effect that weld's about. But yeah, I've started putting stuff back. Welded it both sides, as you can see. That's from the other side. So it's, while it's ugly, it is strong, and that's all that matters around here. Currently waiting for the paint to dry on a replacement bit to go underneath here to form the back of this, back of the sill lip. Once that's in, I can then weld the plate for this, which goes down to there, and it'll weld into that. At that point, I can then put the outer sill on all the way along here, which then leaves me at the back with a bit of an issue. I just need to remember how this was put together. I think that come down and that was inside. Well, I think obviously I just want to get this, at least this much of the sill in place before I do any more. I always add to it there. But yeah, it's going well. Apologies for anyone offended by bad welding. That's a particularly bad one, but the rest of it's not too bad. It's just very difficult when I'm lying on the ground. There's another bit there. And it's also difficult because it's right by this point for the training arm. So I couldn't really do much on this side. So I've had to double dip with the welding, but I put holes there, you know, along the whole lot of it. I'm going to clean it, and then once I've done the welding here, and then just blast this again with some weld-through primer. Should show you the plates really. So there's the first one. I haven't done this side because this is the side I won't see. Be going against the sort of inner reinforcement thing. So I'll weld this side. This is the bit that I'm waiting to dry, so that's just gonna obviously sit like that and provide the backing. Where's my thumb? Yeah, my finger, sorry. Weld it all along there. Then I've got this one that I've got to put holes into. There's like the bit where it came up on the MOT actually. Just there. And basically, which way does it go in? Oh yeah, it goes in like that. So I need to put the holes in and weld that. Probably weld that while I'm waiting for that to dry. Okay, so I haven't really been filming a fat lot because I just want to get this done. It's a bit nasty here at the moment, but that's been done. The other side's been done. I just need to clean up the welds. I had cleaned it up, but then when I was knocking some back, I saw some holes, which is what they're meant for. But It's good. This is part of the sill that's come under, and obviously bringing the lip up and now starting to build the arch back up again. That's gone in. I've knocked it back, some little bits there, a bit there, that need doing again. Threw that in last night. I've knocked it back today. Again, some little holes that I need to address. And then currently just trying to work out how best to do that. I did make the panel, but I've left it in the garage because it's drying at the moment, because I put some paint on the back of it. Had to cut more of the wing here to get behind this. I say a lot. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm just struggling at the moment to get this section right. Sorry, this bit here. I had intended to put the next bit behind it, but I don't think. Well, it's a bit difficult at the moment because I can't get a clamp in behind it to pull it in to make it tight. So I need to think of something else. Look at that. Very badly welded, warped as well, but it's fantastic. It's all welded. A little bit here that I got wrong, should have been in. Sorry, you can barely see that. This bit should have gone in there. I'm going to sort that out. This black stuff is Vactan because, as you can see with all that, it rained, which is the problem with a lot of this crap. So now, moving on. To this side. As you can see, that's my hand, and that's just as bad. See, even bits in there that need doing, and with all that same shit but a different side. I think I'm gonna just do the sill first. So we started off with the bit that I needed cutting off. I'll show you in a second actually what the rest of the sill, but I wire brushed. We use that one as an example. I wire brushed it all, and I cut off the bit that was bad. The funny thing is, if you can focus, doesn't want to focus. That's great. This cracked or split, sorry, as I was cutting it. I think I was trying to do that with it, tried to do that with it, and then it just fell down and cracked itself. As you can see, no sill. This is where the repair bit is, so from everything forward it was quite bad, but at least at this point, as you can see, but you could see there, I wire brushed it, so I felt that was alright. He says as another bit falls off. Ow, just cut myself. So yeah, plan for this that I didn't do there is to make the two bits like I normally did, like I did before, sorry. Weld it on the bench and then weld it on the under the car, because that means I only have that length and that length of welding upside down to do. So yeah, I'll show you the rest of it if I can. Sorry, there. That's where I was going to cut first, but I had to change my mind to cut to there. I just want to get a ruler across it and try and make this as straight as I can. Inside, it's fairly grim. Up here, I just need to sand it a little bit, just to get the rust off as much as I can, and then just slather Vactan on it. Slather Vactan on it. Here is quite strong, which so means obviously the other side I welded a new one of these into it, so that came down to here, but the other side only had the one patch done, so this is far more robust of a repair than the other side, so I'm just going to keep that where it is. Although probably, well, I don't know how I would even try and cut that where I can you see it? I mean, that's also a problem. But here I am again, not for the first time, beating the repair panel into shape. Obviously, you use a metal sheet folder and better metal shaping tools than I have to hand, but a bench vise and a hammer is all I've got. Okay, so it's the 25th, oh no, 22nd, and that's what I did on the Saturday, which you've just seen. A bit blobby there, but that's because I was blowing holes and I was trying to fill them up with the wire. But it looks fairly good. Same with the other side. So yeah, just trying to work out now where the sorry, trying to work out where the good steel is. So if we look here, something's gone wrong with this camera. I think you can just about see there's a little blemish there, so that's a bit of rust, so I need to go above that. Along here, same, I'll just check there as well for in case I end up making an arch, which I'm not going to do, so it'll be the same as the other side. Again, all of this will have to come out, especially around here because it's fairly nasty looking. Other side, this isn't as bad, but because obviously, well, you know from the last few minutes or however long this ends up being, in behind there will be fairly rotten, as you can see. So all I've been doing this evening is just seeing where the rust goes. There's a little blemish there, but tried my best to poke at that with the screwdriver and I can't get it in. So that's all fairly good, so I'm just going to vac tan all of that. It's currently drying, put degreaser on it. So yeah, just seeing how bad or how far the rust goes, because it's fairly bad here. I think I showed you that earlier. It just carries on. So hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna cut, as much as I need to begin with. It'll be just a quick down like that, and then hopefully I'm going to try and do it in one or two big pieces, because I know obviously the other side I made small little patches like that, because obviously when it got to the fuel filler here, the arch wasn't really as uniform a shape as this is. So I think I can do that now. Maybe we'll give it a try anyway, and then see how we crack on. All the crap stuff is gone. That's what's left, which isn't a lot. Oh, and there's that bit as well. That's your inner arch. But this is the particular highlight of today. All of this bit. Try and hold it with. Yeah, that'll do. From what I can gather, this part is part of the repair that you saw. There, pardon me. But right here, in behind, is the inner sill. Is the actual sill of the car. So you know what we do? We cut it out and break my camera in the process. So we're going to start trying to cut as much of this off as we can, or as high as I can, behind what's been fixed. So this is the next bit to go, so it gives me better access to here. But yeah, hopefully what I'm going to be able to do is cut this off as best I can to just get to the actual existing part of the car. I haven't turned my radio off, so hopefully it doesn't pick up, but see all of that. Well, let me tell you now. Oh. A lot of it had to come off, so you know, as you can tell here, I've also knackered the camera, which is great, so you see like little shadows or whatever. So we cracked down the lens of the camera from the previous shot. So so that's this triangular gusset type of thing, which still some of the inner sill, inboard sill should I say, or inboard side of the sill, that would be better. Yeah. As part of that, so I need to grind that back so we get to this bit. I managed to put a hole in it. The hole has been fixed. I need to work out a better way of getting the back tan in the back there, but for the most part it's alright. We just wait now, and tomorrow's another day, because I can't do any more tonight, unfortunately. That's the new panel, and I'll be honest with you, I sent it to the wife, and I took a photo of this side and the other side. She says I can't tell the difference. And the reason was because the other side's too black. The only difference she could tell apparently. But then she's married to me, so I don't think her eyesight's all that good to begin with. Saturday and Sunday were spent sorting out the sill there. It was a bit rough. But as you can see, the inboard done, inside done, and the outer bit. Only issue now is that only issue now is that obviously it's just that little bit too long, I think. So I just need to here cut that, and then we can crack on. Today is a great day. The Manufacturing Preacher is the new single out, and it's a banger. A cloud in the sky because it's, I don't know, I think it's 27 degrees today, hopefully, so it's lovely. Topping up on the old paddy tan. Good luck. Today, hopefully, that'll be the last bit of welding I do on the car, and I mean that. The whole reason the door is off is, I don't know if you can see this, is, one sec, yeah, so I had to this was rotten, and the only way you can do it is by taking the door off. It was also threatening rain when I did that, so I've got to just do a little bit there. Also means, thankfully, that I can try and get that rear level light working. Rear level, high level. And just start cleaning up a little bit. But there, yeah. It's all cheesy and lovely. It's great. I also worked out that I think 27 has been the hottest it has been all year. It's definitely the hottest since I've worked on this. The coldest was about -5, and I've been out in all sorts of weather extremes and stuff, which also shows how long it's taken. But you know, gotta crack on now and let's get it done. And there we have it, the new panel welded in, well mostly anyway, and that's all the welding that needs to be done on this RAV4. And as I turned my welder and gas off and I started to clean the underneath of this car ready for a protective coat of Vactan, red oxide primer and unseal, I discovered this. So this is what I found. The absolute shithousery of it. I'm on a time pressure now with this, and short of dismantling the entire passenger side suspension assembly, the most pragmatic way to deal with this was to clean off as much rust as I could, weld over a thick plate of steel, about 2mm in this case, soak the cavity in wax and oil, and just get it through the MOT. I could always come back to this at a later point when it's less of an MOT test situation and more of a restoration. Once the patch was welded in place, I set about completing the rust conversion work. A whole lot of brushing the crud off with a wire wheel, followed by copious amounts of Vactan, which was then followed by 2 coats of red oxide primer paint, and then finished with a lot of seam sealer, and then finally 2 coats of underseal. Even the tow bar got some love. Again, all of the crud and rust was cleaned off it, and then some Hammerite direct to rust paint was applied. Only chose this paint as I had a little pot of it left in the shed. After that, some cheap £2 black gloss spray paint finished off the bottom of the boot ledge, and as well as various parts of the B&C pillars, which you never see under the black plastic trim, but it'd be rude not to paint them. Given the lumpy, bumpy nature of the repairs I made to the rear arches, I decided to lessen the appearance of them by filling in as much of the dips as I could. A very unprofessional job, but I'd spent far too much time on a car that needed to just work. This was never a restoration, this was always a case of saving the car and getting it through an MOT safely. Once the filling was done and the sanding was done and the paint applied poorly but enough to hide the mess of the filler, it was time to apply some cavity wax. I bought this built Hamber stuff for my ladder and I'd never used it before. It's very messy, it's very messy stuff when first applied, as it runs into all the holes it needs to fill. Hopefully though this does the trick. For the grommets I used some plastic caps which were meant for chair legs to fill the holes. They do the job perfectly well, especially when painted with some underseal. It's a different ending to my usual videos, but the third and final part will tie up a lot of this, mostly dealing with the new fuel tank and a few other mishaps that happened on the way. But until the next time, thank you for watching the longest video I ever hope to make on this, and I will see you soon.